Morning. Okay, I want to speak straight to the loyal hearts. Okay. Okay. Now I was trying to, gotta hum it back in. Okay. Nuh-uh. We getting this message out today. Woo! Okay. I might just have to go back to the cards if it seriously evades me. Okay, I'm getting like mad Buffy Vampire Slayer vibes and like alien power, like Star Trek, like whatever like you're inspired by in that way. Like now's a good time to like. I really love like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and like I've always like I really want to come back as like an elf king. Like I really like I love the elf people. I just think they're like so cool. Like whatever it is that helps you in that regard, like to find the magic again and to feel empowered. Okay, so this is what's coming to me is that anybody's shadow can overtake them. Even, and I'm not certain, of course, on this, but like I think even after you've awakened, it's possible that it can still like overtake you. But the reason that you awaken and go through shadow work is to awaken to your gifts and your powers and self-actualize and figure out what you actually want to do, and or God like puts you in different places like to do different missions and things like that. And if you were someone who was put into situations that were very, very dangerous and people that were dangerous, I mean, that's the only word that's coming to me. And you're collecting information, then that's information that the world, you need to regurgitate for the world. I'm trying to get them to just speak through me right now. So I'm hoping that this message touches who it needs to go to. We have the three, I want to speak on this very first. We have the Three of Wands reversed, which is saying that so you're playing it too safe. I'm getting hella like, it's time to do some crazy shit again, y'all, because that's another thing that like happens on this path that it can become so hard not to let the fear overtake you or to slow you down or to attach to security or to stay in comfort zones because there can be so much fear. But I just read something about like your mind has to be stronger than your emotions. And if you've awoken, you like, okay, trying to ground it. If you are awakened, you are strong AF, okay? And you are hella courageous. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I don't care. If you're facing your shadow and you're dealing with your emotions and you're choosing to keep your heart fucking open and you're choosing to try your best to be loyal to God and to be a better person, you are insanely strong and you are insanely courageous, okay? You don't have to be up here being a wild ass like me, but... or whatever you want to call me. Like you can do it in whatever way works for you. And there's a time and a place too to like, there's so much of a need to be calm through it all. And I think a lot of men tend to be more of this like stoic type and don't want to speak their truth as much or whatever. Like that's between you and God, okay? But women more often are the oracle. So I think that we are more drawn and pushed to speak. But that could be, no, I'm not trying to be race sexist. I'm not trying to be sexist. It just seems to be how it goes. But you can't run from the fear. We can't run from the tactics that the enemy's going to use against us. You know, it is what it is. So we have to not be afraid of our power though, too. Like that's what's being pushed on me is that it's like, it's day by day. Like, I don't know if I'm going to see tomorrow. And it's like, if I can help freaking one person to find the passion inside of them again, that's okay. I don't know if this is true yet or not, because I don't have confirmation on this, but I know that the devil energy wants to have control of your mind, but they told me today that they wanted my heart. And that's why I'm coming on here so hard, because I'm like, no, like, I did not. That's where it stopped. The buck stops with God too. Again, I don't have confirmation on this, but it's like your love and your love will, if we keep using love, that will overpower every time. Another thing is that the devil energy doesn't want to be seen. So that's why it's always using manipulation tactics and all these different things, these things behind the scenes. And I'm not saying that it's completely hard. It can be very harmful. It can be intense. I need to reel it back in because I don't want my shadow to stop me right now, because I'm getting, I don't know. But once the light is shown on that, it dissipates, or the truth is out. What's interesting though is that, and I don't know that we don't like, that energy is still going to play out and manipulate and do these things. And I don't think we have any control over that. So all that we can do is do our best to do our own shadow work and love ourselves and each other to the best of our ability. And remember that this is about your soul's growth, and that it's a journey and it's a game. And that to me is why I'm coming on here with so much fucking passion, because it's like, if I can just put that in somebody else, that it's like, just go after what your heart wants and just don't let all these things stop you. Because like, y'all, I'm not giving any more information about what's next, but we might have to do some more crazy shit. Like it may have to be some, like, a lot of people go on like crazy, like, I don't want to speak on it. I'm just saying that that's part of, I do believe that that's a part of this journey, is that it's like, we aren't, once you're like awakened, you kind of like don't have that choice of like just being in comfort anymore. I do think that you can build that. I think that you can build a 10, what are the numbers? Like, and I'm going to get to the cards, but I wanted to get this out, you can build that wealth and stability, but it's like, stagnancy is bad. And also it's like, once God puts something in your heart, like, I don't know. That's just how my path has been. That's how it's been for me, is like, I feel like it's like, I get complacent, and then God's like, shake it up. Like, it's got to get shaken up. We have this, because there's towers. It's like, we have the tower reversed again. Like, so I don't know how it goes for other people. It may be that you can just stay in one profession and one situation and be fine. But I think that if you're the cycle breaker in your family, it's like, you're going to have to like move around and do different, you're going to have, maybe even your mission and your purpose kind of changes over time, because God needs to put you in different places. Like, he's kind of like, you're like the king and queen, because you want to hold yourself to that standard, but you're almost kind of like the knight on the playing board, because he's moving you around so much. I don't know chess that well to speak on that, because I feel like the king and queen don't move very much. I don't know. Someone have to school me on that. I don't know chess well enough, but I do. People like to use that analogy of like 3D is like checkers and 5D is like playing chess. Like, God is playing, which, I mean, goes way above 5D, but I don't know why I'm itchy, y'all. Okay, so let's get to the cards. That was a lot. Because so we've got the Knight of Swords out here, which that always gives me kind of that, like, that's just that very angry, aggressive energy of like, I will do anything to get what I want. And that to me is very like, very devil energy, or just, that's something to be wary of, even, especially if you were kind of in that mindset. McAfee, I don't have McAfee anymore. They still send me emails. Nine of Swords. So you need to get out of your head. We have Temperance reversed, and we have the High Priestess reversed on the bottom. So you're feeling mixed up, or you're struggling to trust your intuition. And you need to get back to that balance. Eight of Pentacles is out. Here's a reminder to focus on your work or the direction that you're headed. Keep your head in the game. Keep yourself focused on that, because that, for whoever this resonates for, that seems to be. And in general, I think that when we have that purpose, that helps you to stay on track. It helps to give you something that's like guiding you. I mean, I do think you need to find that void, that inner guidance. But purpose is a very strong driving force too. I'm getting squirrely now. Someone doesn't want this message getting out. All right, we do have 8 of Wands, so there's a lot of fast-moving energy that might be helping us with bringing in this change. You're getting new ideas. Your creativity is coming back. And we have 2 of Cups here. So that's like giving me like a promise of a partnership, or like that's like, if it's not in your reality now, like it's coming. So I would say definitely that 8 of Pentacles is sort of like the outstanding card on this, is like stay focused on that. And maybe you're feeling a little bit of this lack, or got 7 of Pentacles. That's a very interesting card to me, because I'm like, it has abundant, it has grapes, and it's 7. It's a high number, but he's missing, he feels like he's missing something, or he's wishing for something else. Another little thing that helps is like little practices that you have. And like, I've been getting, like, they've been hitting me hard with like, you've got to stay consistent on like keeping balance, and like things throughout the day that like keep you balanced, because I can't take on more if I'm not like my daily things are not already like set in place, like set rituals and stuff, like, so things like that, little things that you have that ground you, because y'all, I'm just coming on here because this is like blowing my mind, but it's like, I've been seeing it and I've been feeling it, that it's like, there's going to be 12 on the clock. There's going to be like a table flipping of leaders coming in and what's going to be asked of us and stuff like that. Because it's just like, I've been seeing, there's a lot of people who are going through very survival type of situations, who know that they're following God, and they're struggling with fear. They're struggling with these different things. And there's a lot of parallels, and that's where that loyalty is. That's why God is using you, because you're doing everything you can to not be corrupted, to not become bitter, to not become angry. And that's okay. So the anger, that's the other thing that's coming to me, is it's like anger, when you turn it into passion even for like even if it's for something that your heart wants, it's not going to, this itch on my back, it's not going to, y'all, I'm losing it now. There's something about the anger and the feminine that is like that Kali energy. I don't know what it's like for men. And I've done a lot with like breath work and meditation and all these things, but it's like anger hasn't just completely dissipated from my body. Like I don't feel like I struggle with things like jealousy, and there's certain like things like that don't bother me, that anger can fuel those things. But then to me, it's like your anger can be turned towards what you want to create for the better, but it has to be managed. That's what I'm saying. Like, I do think that your shadow can still overtake you, because that Kali energy is very, very destructive. And that it's like, we live in a world that there's towers, like this destruction is part of the world that we live in. But to me, it's like when God comes down and something erupts, or like it even comes to another person, it's like it's up to us as individuals of like how we respond to it. And that kind of, like shows where you are, I guess, type of thing, or like how much you can take on. So this game is not easy at all. But I know that fighting for a better world and helping others to know that that you deserve freedom and you deserve to be happy and you deserve to be able to enjoy your day and like live in. I think that once you want simplicity, it's like we shouldn't even have any guilt about that type of thing. Yeah, the message is definitely evading you now. Also, the last thing is that knowing that you are enough, even though maybe you grew up with conditional love or you felt like you have to be, you kept feeling that story of like, I have to do this and do that and act this way to be accepted by the world. Like none of that is true. And it all shifts as soon as you start accepting yourself. And I've struggled with perfectionism too, y'all. Like I'm right there with you, but the more that we accept and embrace ourselves, the more that the universe can shower you with those blessings. All right, Three of Wands reversed. We gotta step into something new, y'all. It's like everybody right now. So just let it come to you. Let the downloads come in.